Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. I can't believe the calls we've gotten here. I can't believe what people are saying. I can't believe how many people think that cranking out a Xerox copy of themselves is selfless. That somehow they're doing civilization, mankind, if you will, a favor by pressing the print button and seeing a copy come out the other end. The most selfless thing you can do is not have a child. You will not use up precious resources. You will not make the world more complicated. You will not add to the pool of birth defects, add to the pool of children with problems. If you have a career that you pursue, you work hard, or you're a two-career household, or you're single, you will not be dropping that kid off in daycare. You will not be dropping that kid off with a babysitter or relatives who are too busy to be bothered. You will be showing that the most important thing is not to expose a child to all of the problems of the world. And if you are not capable or not willing to spend the time by not recreating a Xerox copy of yourself, you'll be doing that kid and the world a favor by not birthing them, as Butterfly McQueen once said. Or something like that. Don't be birthing no babies if you don't have the time to be raising them. Bottom line. I mean, it's that simple. I'm just amazed at the arrogance of people who think that by having kids, they are selfless, and those of us who don't have kids are selfish. Let me give you an example. In my lifetime, I know, I have been very clear on this. What have I loved more than anything else in my life? My career. I love it. I love what I do. I love the freedom I have to pursue my career. I love the time I have to fly off to Seattle for a week and do the show, or fly off to Detroit, or fly off to Portland, or fly off anywhere. Do the program from anywhere. I love the freedom I have to take vacations anywhere I want. I look at the money I've saved. I've been able to build a stable household with a wine cellar. Decorate my house my way. And the fact is that, imagine if a kid had to live in my house. White walls, expensive furniture. My goodness. All I can say is that exposing a child to my life, of traveling all the time, not having time, dropping the kid off at daycare, that would be really selfish to say, you know what, I want to see what I would look like as a little kid. I'm so anxious to see myself reproduced, I'm going to do it even though I don't have time to raise the kid, or talk to the little munchkin, hang out with him, play ball with him, whatever. I don't have time for this. But I'm going to have him anyway because I want to do the world a favor. How selfish is that? Now here's the bottom line. You know what? We do all kinds of things to be selfish in life, things that are self-centered. I use the analogy of eating a piece of chocolate cake. You're only doing that for one reason, to satisfy yourself. You're not doing that to satisfy anybody but you. That's it. You're not doing that for the benefit of the cake, the benefit of mankind. You're doing it because you love the way it feels when that chocolate icing hits the back of your tongue just before it's about to be swallowed. Oh, how good is that? It's like licking the spoon. It's not a selfless act. It's completely self-centered. Eating a slice of pizza. What's more self-centered than that? Baby. You take that pizza hot out of the oven, a couple of sizzling pieces of pepperoni on it. You put a little hot pepper on that, a little mozzarella, a little Parmesan on that. Shove it in your mouth. Oh, the cheese is dripping. It's completely self-centered. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being self-centered. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing acts that are self-centered. Because in life, we do what's good for us. We marry people we find appealing or fun to be with. We eat food we like. We live in neighborhoods we love. We buy houses that we think are going to impress other people. I mean, just about everything we do in life is for ourselves. People get so tense when I say this because they think I'm attacking you for being self-centered. When the reality is, everything you do during the day is for you. Unless you're giving money or working at a soup kitchen, just about everything you do is for your own benefit. You do what's good for you. That's it. When you go to the supermarket and load up the wagon, you're not buying foods that are going to benefit the farmers who are poor, or buying foods that are going to help companies that are going out of business. You buy the foods that taste good, the ones that are the cheapest. When you buy a car, you buy the car that's the most comfortable, or the coolest car, the one that makes you feel the happiest. You're not doing favors for people. You do that for you. Kidding me? Just about everything you do is for your own benefit. Even when you pick somebody to be with, you pick somebody who is appealing to you, somebody who has the money you want, or somebody who has the looks you want, somebody who has big breasts or a beautiful ass or whatever. You pick what you like, and you do it for you. Not for somebody else, but for you. I mean, what, you want to do the world a favor, Mr. Selfless? Well, how about you marry some homely, greasy, fat thing that hasn't ever had a date? Because everybody deserves to have somebody. Why don't you do the world a favor, Mother Teresa? Why don't you marry somebody nobody else wants? You're not going to do that. You're going to get the hottest chick that you can find, the hottest chick you can afford. That's what you're going to do. And as I always say on the air, women will get the richest guy they can attract with their looks. It's that simple. Where do people get this idea that they're doing the world a favor by existing or by creating Xerox copies of themselves? You're not doing anybody a favor, except yourself. You're fulfilling yourself. Look how many women say, I want to know what it's like to experience childbirth. How many of them say, I want to know what it's like to experience changing a filthy diaper? No, they don't want to experience that. They want to experience childbirth. Many women have kids, and after they've experienced childbirth, they don't want to experience any of the other stuff they have to experience. They don't want to experience raising children. They don't want to experience keeping kids off drugs, keeping them from having sex, keeping them from murdering other people or robbing other people's houses. They don't want to worry about that. They want to experience childbirth because it's all about us. We all do what's in our own best interest. We have children because we like the idea of seeing little versions of us running around. Those of us who don't have children, we don't because we like having wine cellars, trips to the Napa Valley. We like having careers. Everything we do is in our own self-interest. We do what we think is best for us. And there is no right or wrong. And all you people who get insulted when I say having children is self-centered, I'm not saying that you are, as a person, more self-centered than I am. I'm simply saying you only do what you do because it's good for you, because it's what you want for you. That's it. You're not doing it to help society or to help America. You're not even doing it for God's benefit. You're doing it for you. Aren't you?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
Excuse me while I scratch my balls.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Show 1-800-5800-TOM. David on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom.
David.
I was thinking when you were talking about this how, it really is a selfish thing to decide to have a child. I have two myself. But I think where a lot of people get really pissed off at what you say is that they have to give up a lot of the things that you enjoy.
That's right.
As a single person.
That's right.
And, there are certainly times when I get frustrated that I can't, I make a good living. I can't drive a TT coupe. Mm-hmm. I drive a little Subaru.
Yeah.
And I have to give those things up. And there's certainly times when I'm frustrated that I have to give those things up.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I'm going to be a good parent, I've got to give those things up. So the decision to be a good parent means you have to make some selfless decisions.
Yes.
But having the decision to have a child, that's selfish.
Yes.
I'll admit it.
Yes, and the thing is, just about everything we do in life is for our own benefit. So it's not being critical of people, it's just telling the truth.
Exactly. If I really think about it, it was selfish to decide to have a child. But now, if I'm going to live up to it, I've got to turn around and be selfless sometimes.
Yes.
So that's my take on it anyway.
Thank you, David.
Blow me up, Tom.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Diana on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Diana.
How are you?
Do you care?
Absolutely.
Doing great.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to be talking to you. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
I totally agree with you, and the last guy hit the nail on the head. You have kids, and you have to be selfless with the children. But having kids is definitely a selfish thing.
That's right.
So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you for that. I appreciate the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Chad on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Well, I have 4 kids, Tom.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
29?
We just had twins about 3 months ago.
You didn't do that to help the world, did you?
Not for anything in the world.
You did that because you sat there with your wife going, honey, look how great we look. Look in the mirror.
Now, we planned the first 2, and the twins were an unexpected arrival.
You couldn't get to the drugstore that night, eh?
Well, I did what I could. So, no, I absolutely think it's a selfish thing. I totally do. I always wanted to have a son and a daughter, and I managed to do that, and then have the unexpected additions, but totally a selfish thing. I always wanted to have kids more or less so I could spend time with them and, teach them to play ball or, teach them to read or just spend, time with them like I didn't have with my parents, and it was absolutely a selfish thing, totally.
There you go. It's like I say, eating dinner is a selfish thing,
Absolutely. I mean, I because of the fact that I didn't have a very good relationship with my parents, I always wanted to see if I could make a better go of it myself.
Right. Which is interesting because if you've read anything about that, most people repeat the same mistakes the parents make.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, with having a bad relationship with my parents, I mean, you would think that you'd wind up in a scenario where you were an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever. I mean, but
how about the people with genetic issues? People who have various kinds of deformities, the various kinds of disabilities, who decide they're going to have kids anyway? Are they doing the world a favor by doing that?
I wonder that myself. I mean, realistically, I never planned on having 4 kids. I mean, on some level, I realized all the way along it was just something I wanted to do. There's no, it wasn't some sort of a selfless act I did to try and make the world a better place. It was definitely a selfish thing. I mean, as much as I enjoy being a father, it definitely was something I did for me initially, and certainly it's selfless after the fact, but beforehand, definitely a selfish issue.
Bing, bang, boom. Thank you, Chad.
All right, well, can you blow me up, Tom?
Of course I can. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Anthony on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom.
Anthony.
Long time, first time.
Thank you.
Love you. Listen, my girlfriend and I have been together 9 years. We're going to adopt, and I'm wondering if that's such a noble thing or as noble as we think it is. I mean, we think that we're choosing to do that for the right reasons. We both could have our own kid. I got by on the skin of my teeth a few times, haven't had any so far, but we've chosen to adopt. You think there's some ego stuff rolled into that?
Well, there's less ego in that than having your own.
I mean, we're open to ethnicity, open to gender, I don't know about developmentally disabled, but I mean, we're pretty open-minded about it. So,
yeah.
But I just don't want to, I don't know, I'm starting to think that there's some wrong reasons wrapped up in that, too.
Well, the thing is, I repeat what I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with being self-centered.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And it's certainly more noble to adopt a kid than to have your own, at least, Well, you could make an argument that you are trying to make the world a better place by doing it. Having your own kid doesn't make the world a better place.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, though. The idea of having your own to, like you said, carbon copy yourself kind of really turns my stomach. And when I tell folks that we're adopting, the first question is always, you know, why aren't you having your own, or is there something wrong with you or her, or can't you get a surrogate? And I really, really get more and more turned off by it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you know, we're both good-looking people, and we've probably got nothing wrong with us genetically, but so what? So, anyway, love you, blow me up.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello to Wendy on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Wendy.
How you doing?
Do you care?
Yes, I do.
I'm doing great.
Great. I just wanted to say that I totally agree with you. I'm a 35-year-old. Been married 10 years. Can't have kids. Didn't want them. Husband didn't want them. Make about $150,000 a year, and we do what we want when we want.
There you go.
And paying taxes sucks on all those little kids.
Right? You're paying taxes. If somebody next door to you makes the exact same money you do, and they've got 3 kids, they pay less taxes than you do.
Exactly.
You are subsidizing them.
We live in a very nice neighborhood, 600 plus thousand for homes. I pay $1,000 a year in housing taxes.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
Yes.
So we should get the benefits.
Well, of course. You're not going to use the school system. You're not going to use free school lunches, vaccinations, food stamps. You're not going to use after-school programs. You're not going to, go down the list. Medical programs. You're not going to use any of that stuff.
Exactly.
You should get a bonus.
Well, thanks a lot, Tom. Blow me up.
Here you go, baby. Nick on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Nick, hello.
How are you doing, Tom?
Pretty damn good, Nick.
Are you supposed to ask me if I care?
I don't have time for that, Nick.
Oh, okay. Well, I do agree with you. Having children is an act of selfishness. You know, it's to bring joy to yourself, correct? But
of course.
we can't forget, though, that, I know you're saying that kids, people get tax breaks and everything, but kids bring millions and millions of dollars to the economy, though.
No, but they also cost millions and millions of dollars to the economy.
I know, but the economy makes...
Believe me, people are not doing the economy any favors by having children, Nick.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800. Jay on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Am I now, Tom?
What's that?
Oh, my name's Jay. How are you today?
Great.
Yes, Jay.
Yes.
Well, I guess I shouldn't ask how you're doing because I don't care. One of the things I wanted to say as I'm listening to you on the radio is saying selfish to having children is so ambiguous. I mean,
nothing ambiguous about it. I think it's very specific and direct.
Well, I mean, you can be selfish about everything. Breathing, walking, I mean, everything. Isn't everything about every person? I mean, that's so... I mean, what's your I haven't listened to the whole time, but I mean, what, do you want nobody to have children, so then the whole world would just come to the end?
No, I never said... Well, first of all, obviously, like so many people who've had children, you lose your hearing the minute I mention this subject. And the fact is, I didn't say people shouldn't have children. I said it's self-centered.
Well, how are they self-centered? Who's going to have them then? So
I didn't say whether people should or shouldn't. Hello? I didn't say whether people should or shouldn't have them.
Yeah, but anybody that has a child is self-centered.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess the fact that you're talking on the phone and you have a business and the radio was obviously formed by a self-centered person.
Oh, let me make something really clear. I didn't come here for your benefit today. I came here to get paid.
No question, and I agree with that. That's the only thing I do.
I did it for my own benefit. I didn't do it for you.
Well, but
at least I can be honest about it, unlike you.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm dishonest about being selfish to have children. I think that I'm giving some children a nice home.
The children don't exist. These children do not exist. You are creating children that don't exist, and you're doing them a big favor by raising them. I don't get it. There's no logic there.
If you see other people that are raising children in a different manner, you feel that you're doing society a favor by raising
But you're not.
in a proper way.
What does that mean, a proper way?
Well, there's obviously murderers out there. There's obviously people out there that are raising children.
Well, it's very white of you to decide to gift the world with your kids and then not murder them. That's very nice of you.
Well,
it's so selfless of you. You're the Mother Teresa of reproduction.
Well, I'm just saying, if you get
Very nice of you to have your own offspring and then not kill them. Thank you for that.
Okay. Well, I guess.
What other favors are you going to do for us?
Well, we'll see what they do in life that makes the world better.
Tomorrow you won't rob a bank. Tomorrow you won't stab somebody in the heart. You're just a great guy. All these things you're not doing to society for our benefit.
It isn't me, Tom. It's the children that do it. And if you don't have children, how can you comment on it?
Please. The reason I don't have children is because I do know what it's like. By the way, I might add, I'm the oldest of 4. And I spent my time with children. Believe me. I know what it's like because I was left with children. I was left to babysit. I was left to take care of children over and over. Believe me, you don't have to commit murder to know it's wrong.
No, and I agree with that.
And you don't have to have children to know what impact having children has or what people's motivations are for having children. You had children because you want to know what your children would look like. You wanted to have the experience. Your wife might have the experience of squirting one out of her vagina. That's the reason you have children. You do not do it to do the world a favor.
Aren't you selfish because you don't have children?
No. I did what was in my own best interest, but at least I didn't have kids and subject them to having to listen to me mouth off about stuff. I'll tell you what.
Well, you're selfish.
Why? What's selfish about that?
You're on the other side of the fence because you're so selfish and into.
Listen to you. You're so hurt. Your feelings are so hurt. You are clearly so hurt by this.
No, I'm saying. You're selfish because you won't give a...
If it wasn't true, you wouldn't be so hamina about the whole thing.
Well, if you're on the other side...
You didn't do this to benefit anybody but you.
I haven't benefited myself. I have to pay. You think raising a child...
You didn't know that when you had the kid. You had the kid because you thought it would be fun to do for you.
Anybody who went to school knows that it takes X amount of money. What is it, $130,000 to raise a child in the world today? You got to be an idiot.
Please, you didn't know that when you had kids. You had no idea, and that had nothing to do with your decision.
I most certainly did know it was going to be expensive.
I see. Right, and you did the world this big favor.
I took a risk because I wasn't selfish by saying raising a child, giving a child a good earning, and giving them a...
Why didn't you adopt children?
What's that?
Why didn't you adopt children who needed a home?
I considered that as well.
Why didn't you do it? No. Considering something is not the same as doing it. Why didn't you do it?
I think for me it was because...
You wanted to see what the little baby would look like.
No.
Because you like the cut of your own jib, baby. That's what it was. And you wanted to see. You wanted to press the print button and see what would come out the other end.
With flesh and blood. He's your own flesh and blood.
That's what it's all about. It's all your own ego there.
No, I mean, if you adopt, it's great. It's the noble thing. But if you can have children and have one, I mean, somebody has to have children.
But how are you doing the world a favor? By adding to the population. How are you doing the world a favor?
Well, that'll be justified by what the child does for the world, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, all right, Mr. Hitler. We'll see what your child does, Mr. Mussolini.
Well, that's a good
Mr. Bin Laden. We'll find out what your kid does.
Well, that's true.
You never know what you are dropping on the world. You have no idea, Mr. Manson. You have no idea, Mr. Menendez. You have no clue, Mr. Simpson. You have no idea.
Right. Well, you're sitting on the other side, so it's easy to say to someone who has children, you're selfish when...
You are selfish. You did it for your own benefit. Just admit that you did it for your own benefit.
You make a good living, don't you, Tom?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So having a child and giving that child benefits that other child don't have, there is a benefit to it.
Yeah, I'm already doing that. I'm paying for your children by subsidizing you through tax deductions.
Well, and I'm helping pay for...
I'm much more selfless than you. I don't get any of the enjoyment that you get out of seeing your human Xerox copy that you've created, yet I pay to subsidize your self-centeredness.
And I do it for you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I pay property taxes. I pay sales tax.
Sir, where do you think... Have you read your property tax statement lately? Where do you think those monies go? They go to pay for schools to educate that moron you gave birth to. They are not there to pay for my trip to the Napa Valley. I'll tell you that.
I pay your DMV so you can drive on a flipping card, don't I?
Oh, please, we all pay and we all use the roads.
What if you don't drive?
If you don't drive, you don't pay.
You can say whatever.
If you don't drive, you don't pay. Wait a minute. How many people who don't drive are paying taxes on cars or gasoline?
My point is that there's lots of taxes that other people don't do, and yet they still pay.
The point is, nobody gets more tax benefits than people who have children. Nobody. No group. No one.
No question, because they realize
So people like me are subsidizing people like you.
I think by us having a write-off, it's there's lots of write-offs,
No. Really, I don't see them. You know what? I'm preparing my end of the year taxes right now. I don't see all these benefits. Where are these write-offs?
You make money. You make more money, I can guarantee.
Oh, so what? I should give it to you?
No, I'm saying...
And the little crumb crunchers, little rugrats you're creating? I should be handing that over to you?
No, I'm saying I'll bet you have write-offs that I'll never dream of.
Like what?
You're buying
you have no idea how many write-offs have been eliminated. The write-offs are the same write-offs you get. There are no write-offs anymore. You can't write off interest on a loan anymore. You can't have offshore investments anymore. All those tax shelters that used to exist are gone.
Well,
read a paper.
Listen, I have a brother that's a doctor, and I know his write-offs are a lot bigger than mine.
Well, he's probably cheating on his taxes.
I doubt that. I mean, why would you? That's ridiculous.
By the way, a doctor owns a business. These are business expenses.
No, that's correct.
I don't own a business. I am an employee of this godforsaken company.
Well, they're paying you well, though.
They're paying me well. They'd have to pay me well so I can pay for your kids.
Tom, it's not that much.
Oh, please.
What is it, $2,000?
Oh, please. You know what? I just mailed in November. I just mailed in my property tax statement to educate your illiterate morons. And I'm telling you, I just mailed in $7,600 to pay for your kids. To pick up where you left off, because you're not able to teach diphthongs and vowels and consonants, I have to pay for it.
Well, just think of it, that I'm paying $140,000 for them to have a life.
Well, thanks a load.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
1-800-5800-866.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. We appreciate it. Oh, let's say hello here to Chris on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom. How you doing?
Do you care, Chris?
You know what? Actually, I do.
I'm doing great.
Good. I'm just calling. You know what? These broads are calling in saying it's not selfish and all this BS. You know what? It's the most selfish thing there is. You go out, you bang a broad one night, the condom breaks, she forgets to take the pill, whatever. 9 months later, she craps one out. That's not selfish.
Right.
Jesus, I haven't heard anything more selfish in my entire life, Tom.
Yeah, and I love the people who say that giving birth is a miracle.
Christ, it happens
every day. It's like taking a dump. Come on, please.
Day these broads over here squeezing one here, squeezing one there. And it's a miracle. A miracle to me is something that happens maybe every 100 years. It happens a million times a day.
Right.
Anyway, Tom, blow me up. I just had to say that.
There you go, baby. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. This is Joe on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I'm doing great.
Good.
I like everything you have to say about this, and I just wanted to say, screw all the people that have to take time off of work for their kids, and it's a problem when I take a day off to go skiing.
There you go.
On that note, can you take me out JFK Senior?
Senior. JFK Senior style. Here you go, Joe. Jim on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing?
Pretty good, Jim.
Okay, I have a girlfriend. I'm going out with her for 4 months right now, and she's pregnant like a month. And then that was an accident, though.
Of course it was.
Yeah, it was, for sure, because we don't want to have a kid. I'm only 21 right now, and she's 18, right?
Is she white?
Yeah, I know that.
Because it's Seattle. I mean, hello.
And then...
all the rest of the country, it's people of color, except when you get to the Pacific Northwest.
We just found it actually yesterday that she's pregnant, right? And that wasn't good. That was bad news, right?
Yeah, of course, you didn't use a condom, so what do you expect?
Well, we don't like using condoms. She doesn't...
Well, that's right. You like paying child support. You don't like using condoms. You like paying money out of your own wallet.
No, hell no. We're gonna get abortion. We're gonna get rid of it.
Are you sure? You're
What?
sure she's going to have an abortion?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wait,
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Next time, use a condom, will you?
She doesn't like it. I don't like it either.
I don't care. You're going to end... this winning streak is going to run out. You're going to end up paying, pal.
Well, I thought she was using birth control. And
well, that's my point. Did she tell you she was using birth control? Did you assume that?
She assumed it.
No, you assumed it. Right?
Well, she wanted...
Right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you always...
Right. Yeah, you assumed it.
I started listening to your show like a week ago, and I fell in love with it. I listened to it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I started listening to your show since last week.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
said that.
Crazy.
Yes.
And yeah, what should they do? She's
what should you do? I told you what to do. You don't want to hear what I'm telling you. Use condoms.
Condoms are like rubbers. They're not natural.
Pal, you know what's natural? Giving birth and paying child support for the next 18 years.
No way, no.
Of course it is. What do you mean, no way?
I'm only 21. How am I supposed to pay for...
Jim, that's what's going to happen if you keep doing this.
So
you're going to find out like all the other poor slobs who call in here.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear, you don't want to learn, you don't want to listen. You know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a complete moron.
All right.
Jim, remember, there's a reason I'm down here at the radio station.
Yeah.
And you're at home calling in. Because I know more about this than you do. Right?
I just have a question. Yeah, you're right. How old are you, Tom?
I'm 46.
46?
Right.
Holy sound like you're 25.
Good, I like that.
Do you pick up any chicks, like, when you go on the street?
Do I what?
Do you pick up any chicks when you walk on the street?
Pick up chicks?
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh, you have a girlfriend?
Yes, I do.
Do you cheat on her?
No.
No?
No.
Well, you tell all people cheat on your girlfriend.
I don't tell people that. When did I ever say that?
Oh, like a couple of nights ago, actually.
No. Time to master English, pal. Come on. And by the way, you better start learning how to use rubbers. I'm telling you.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Dean tells me you're a Persian guy.
Yeah.
So your whole deal is to bang white chicks and then eventually marry a Persian virgin, right?
Well, I'm not like that, but people say...
Come on. Come on. The Persian girls aren't giving it up to you, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So you have to bang the white chicks.
They did before. I had the girlfriends. They were virgins. Persians, virgins.
Virgins.
Yeah. Like...
Right. So you have to go to the white girls because they give it up.
All right.
But Jim, what you have to remember is in Seattle, white girls love getting pregnant.
They love to, huh?
Love it. So if you're going to be having sex with white girls, this is what you have to look forward to. Child support.
No. But,
all right, you know better than I do. Okay. You're the expert.
All right, I'll listen to you anyway.
Okay.
I learned so much from you. I'll learn again.
Well, you're going to learn the next time you knock a chick up and she says, I'm not getting an abortion. Then you're going to learn. Then you'll be calling back, Tom, what do I do now? What do I do now?
So it's selfish to have a child right now, right?
Anytime.
Yeah. All right.
Hey.
I should have fun. I'm still young, right?
With a condom on, pal.
All right. I'll try to use it.
Yeah. And why don't you do that, all right?
All right.
I know you won't, but you're going to find out the hard way, pal.
Tom Leykis.
Come on.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Being a man, having an orgasm is like taking a whiz. And for women, I think having a kid is like taking a dump. Okay, now let's just face facts. This is basic human desire, need, feelings, biology, all that.
The Tom Leykis Show.